lessons from the parents or from their grandparents because the dissolution of the family unit. When the family doesn't teach the things of the past,
what's happening here is like 20 cops. I hope they won't have riots tonight. I don't want to get killed. Shit.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, it's yeah. Well, and I've made the point before also that this is very much like what happened in China in the 1960s, the Cultural Revolution, where anything that came before was torn down, where young people would parade their professors in dunce caps in front of crowds and shit. They didn't have social media and today, mocking and ridiculing things simply because they were really apparent, without any appreciation for what they were. And it was all manipulated by figures in the Chinese Communist Party. But it was hugely destructive, and people were humiliated, they lost their lives, they lost their livelihoods, people were sent to re-education camps, and it was this terror, this fear that ate away at the heart of Chinese society. And today, China, of course, airbrushes out all the bad stuff about its history, and doesn't teach the new generation about how terrible that was, even though we know ourselves from our history. But we don't teach that history to young people today. We don't teach people what's wrong with communism. We don't teach them why we fought the
In 1/4 mile, turn right on 7th Street Northwest.
They did not study history. They think they're doing something great when they tear down Teddy Roosevelt, George Washington, and Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses S. Grant. I mean, okay, the man was flawed. He also had a drinking habit. He was one of the worst presidents we've ever had, according to presidential historians. The various reasons for that, but he was the general who won the Civil War and led to the emancipation of slaves. So if you're going to tear that guy down, you might as well just tear the whole Union down. Just tear down the Republic, and Democrats can do what they wanted to do. And
turn right on 7th Street Northwest.
They felt, rightly or wrongly, that it was emblematic of things that happened nationwide. I would submit that at least some of that feeling was created by events that weren't racially motivated, that were cast by the media as racially motivated, or events that didn't happen the way the media said they happened. And the classic example, of course, is Michael Brown. In 2014, he was shot and killed by a police officer in Ferguson, Missouri, but he was not trying to surrender. He didn't have his hands up. He wasn't saying, "Hands up, don't shoot." But that became the slogan for Black Lives Matter. What Michael Brown had actually done was he had reached into the patrol car and tried to grab the police officer's gun. He was on drugs.
In 1/4 mile, turn right on Independence Avenue Southwest.
Running toward the officer, turned around and charged the officer, and several witnesses in the community said they would have reacted the same way the officer did. And that's the real Michael Brown story. But yet that launched a movement that has now built on itself and built on itself.
In 1/4 mile, turn right on Independence Avenue Southwest, then turn left.
It's objectionable. You watch the video, it's terrible. And people read into it what they want, and people are primed to see it a certain way because of stories that were told before, and maybe because of real experiences some people have had. And there you have it. And so we're having this big race riot on a nationwide scale because of something we can't actually verify. It is very sad. Thanks very much, Paul, for the call. Let's go to Michael in California. Michael, welcome to the program.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
The thing is that I think this is a false narrative. My fiance has sent me the co-founder of BLM, and they admit to being community activists and Marxists. And I believe that this is...
There's Capitol Hill. Wow, it's about a kilometer away. And then on the other side, you have the Washington Monument. Wow.
Electing a president is the most important thing we do. I mean, voting is what we do in a democracy. So It's totally ridiculous. But yeah, Black Lives Matter does have a lot of ties to Marxist Venezuela, and that's very concerning. It's very concerning. And they are, in fact, about power, and they're about trying to take power and take over the government and do various other things. And this issue of actually improving the lives of Black Americans is not particularly high in their agenda. If they really cared about that, they'd go after the schools, the teachers' unions, the education system, because that's really...
Turn right on Independence Avenue Southwest, then turn left.
It's made a huge difference, positive difference, in the lives of many inner city residents in this country. The cities are, or at least were, safer over the last 20, 30 years than they were before, and that's because of better policing. And now all that progress has basically been rolled back because the police are not being allowed to do their jobs, and not really even being allowed to relate to the community. Definitely looks bad. And remember, the last campaign rally she was supposed to have on March 1st was shut down by...
Turn left on 9th Street Southwest.
Over an earlier case she prosecuted, and she let them shut down her rally. She did not speak to her campaign supporters because Black Lives Matter, and this is way before George Floyd, Black Lives Matter actually interrupted Amy Klobuchar's campaign rally. It was pretty crazy. Thanks so much, Chris, for calling in. Let's go to Becky in California. Becky, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
In 1/4 mile, take ramp on left to I-395 North.
A bunch of other African American people, and they weren't letting her speak. The one guy said, "What exactly makes America great? What era is Trump talking about? He wants us to go back to." And my comment is, it's not an era he wants us to go back to.
This street is called L'Enfant Promenade. That's French.
Take ramp left to I-395 North.
America great, but we are all prospering. That's what makes America great. When there's unemployment, that's what makes America great. And it's being lost on these people because, I mean, I shouldn't say it like that. Not
turn left on G Street Southwest, then turn left.
Specifically, I mean, I hate this whole era of having to clarify everything you say. You know, because it's not just African American folks that get bent out of shape. It's all kinds of folks. But I'm just saying, you know, all kinds of people won't even listen. Their ears are closed. It's like, la, 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 la. They don't want to hear. They're just like, they...
No, I think you're 100% right, and I think it's a feeling.
Turn left on Main Avenue Southwest, then turn left.
Continue taking your calls, 866-957-2874. Got some more amazing interviews coming up in the next 2 hours, so stick with us. If you're on the road, drive safely, and if you're home with the kids, enjoy Father's Day. This is Breitbart News Sunday. Joel Pollack, 866-957-2874.
Blue jean baby, LA. There's never been a better opportunity to learn. And I want to teach you how I've been successful as a part-time trader. I'm hosting a free training where I'm going to show you my Monday Mover strategy in action. Just register at MondayMoverTrades.com. That's MondayMoverTrades.com. There's no charge to attend this training. Now remember, as always, individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. It's important to invest wisely, and that's why I'm here to help teach you. But if you want to get involved in the stock market, but don't know where to look, or don't think you have enough time, this training is crucial for you to attend. I'll be looking for you. Register now at
Turn left on 7th Street Southwest.
In and out of the store quickly. Oh no, there's a guy coming straight towards me, and he doesn't have a mask. Excuse me, you're way too close. Haven't you heard of social distancing and no mask?
I haven't found any that I like. They're either uncomfortable, provide minimal protection, or they're just junk made in China.
Look at what I'm wearing, a FaceTech mask. FaceTech masks exceed CDC guidelines and are incredibly comfortable and durable. They use 2 layers of Q10's copper ion technology, making it antimicrobial and antifungal. I like it because there's no earrings or ties.
Turn right on Water Street Southwest, then turn left.
There's no gaps on the signs. are washable and extremely durable.
Are they as soft as they look?
Absolutely.
Face Tech masks are 100% made in the U.S.
Turn left on Main Avenue Southwest.
3 sizes for a superior fit. Go to facetechmask.com. Use code WILCOW and receive 20% off and priority shipping. That's FACETECHMASK.com. Facetechmask.com today.
Sirius XM Patriot Election Headquarters for Trump 2020.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. White House Trade Advisor Peter Navarro is calling the coronavirus a product of the Chinese Communist Party and suggesting it may have been intentionally created.
In 1/4 mile, turn right on Penn Street Southeast.
They're linking the outbreak's origin to a possible accident in a Chinese neurology laboratory. Police say a stabbing rampage in Britain that killed 3 people as they sat in a park on a summer evening is being considered a terrorist attack. Chief Constable of Thames Valley Police John Campbell says a suspect is in custody.
We would all want to recognise the bravery of those police officers responding, but also that a number of members of the public for helping my officers and the victims at what was a very distressing scene. My thanks on behalf of
Complications from the coronavirus. State Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation says the inmate died at a hospital. The exact
Turn right on Penn Street Southeast.
Dads in nursing homes around the country mark Father's Day at a forced distance from their loved ones, many of whom are not being allowed to get close enough for so much as a hug. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Relief Factor, effective pain relief that really works. How do I know that? I don't have a script. I don't have talking points. I live it. I've been taking it for a year and a half. I had a lower back pain issue that had been plaguing me for 9 years, almost a decade. I took Relief Factor for 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks.
Turn right on Half Street Southeast, then turn right.
Thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. Don't take my word for it. See their incredible video testimonials at relieffactor.com.
Turn left on Cushing Place Southeast, then turn left.
Drug-free product could work for you as well as it does for me and tens of thousands of Americans. It's so very simple. Go to relieffactor.com, order the 3-week quick starter pack. They'll be at your door in 3 days or less. And I guarantee it, Dr. G's guarantee, if you take it morning and evening, as do I, for 3 weeks, by the end of that time, you will know if it works for you like it works for me.
For only the second time in its 88-year history, the Washington Redskins are retiring a number.
That number is 49, worn by Bobby Mitchell. The other jersey number is 33, worn by Hall of Famer Sandy Baugh. The team will also rename the lower level of FedEx Field for Mitchell, replacing the section named for former owner George Preston Marshall. The team is under pressure to change its name during the ongoing national reckoning over racism. Mitchell, Washington's first African-American player, died in April. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Stargazers in Africa, Asia, and parts of the Middle East looked to the skies this weekend to witness a partial solar eclipse. It was known as a ring of fire because the moon covered most, but not all, of the sun. Millions from Dubai to Taiwan to Japan to India watched the solar spectacle. In Dubai, people could see over 85% of the sun covered by the moon. Photographers taking stunning photos of the eclipse over the iconic Burj Khalifa building. News and analysis at townhall.com.
In the words of Andrew Breitbart, it's fun to be liked. But when standing up for what you believe in, it's also very fun not to be liked.
Turn right on Penn Street Southeast, then turn right.
Breitbart News Sunday is now pleased to welcome Representative Ted Budd of the 13th District in North Carolina. Ted Budd, welcome to Breitbart News Sunday.
Joe, it's great to be with you.
Now, we've heard a lot of talk about police reform, and last week President Trump actually did something about police reform. He issued an executive order that he believes will complement the legislative process that's happening right now on Capitol Hill. Democrats say they're going to have some kind of a vote in the week that is to come. But tell us about your proposals, the Community Policing Act that you introduced.
Yeah, so it's really brief. It's only just a few pages, and it deals with what we really need, and that is some de-escalation training. We did a lot of research with...
This is the baseball stadium here. Let me see if I can take a picture. Right here, the stadium.
Turn right on South Capitol Street.
The weather is not actually better here. It's cooler here than Montreal.
Killed an unarmed, quote-unquote, African-American person. So, how does de-escalation help the problem, at least as perceived by Black Lives Matter?
In 1/4 mile, turn right on N Street Southeast.
I differentiate that movement from the truth.
And right in front is the Capitol Hill again. It's about a mile ahead. That's where all the senators are. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. That's where they do all the voting. Congress.
Which is actually happening right now. I mean, they're going in and they're saying if there was the need for lethal force, especially he's not unarmed. When he takes a taser from a person, he is now armed. So I'm going to say that situation is definitely...
Turn right on N Street Southeast, then turn left.
Environment, very volatile environment of second-guessing officers, and I think that's very dangerous. I spent all day going out to different sheriff's offices in different police departments, small towns, medium-sized towns here in North Carolina. In the background, it's unfortunate.
Turn left on N Street Southeast.
If I was in that situation, and I wasn't, but I don't see what other options there were. I mean, that was and of course they'll do a full investigation, and what he's charged with doesn't mean that's what he's going to be convicted with. There's a lot of emotion right now. I want to get beyond this emotion and let's look.
Turn left on Half Street Southeast, then turn left.
I believe that de-escalation training will be helpful, especially when you look across larger numbers of officers that have been
baseball stadium from the back.
Okay, I actually don't disagree with
Washington Nationals.
I'm not sure something.
This is where they won the World Series last year. The 2019 World Series champions.
Turn left on Half Street Southeast, then turn left.
For several years, 8 years, I lived in San Juan, and they've got great community policing. I used to go to a Friday night dinner at my rabbi's house, and the police would come over all the time, and they'd have dinner with us, and they'd talk to us, and make sure that...
Turn left on 1st Street Southeast, then turn left.
That's great. That helps reduce tensions in the community. Wonderful. Then the riots happen alongside a Black Lives Matter protest, and the whole downtown gets trashed. There are boarded up stores everywhere now. When I take my kids to preschool or wherever they have to go, they have to walk past the wreckage or drive past the wreckage and see that the town that they were both born in and grew up in looks nothing like they're used to. It looks like a war zone.
Turn left on M Street Southeast, then turn left.
The police were busy hanging out with the community, the peaceful protesters down by the pier, while they allowed the looters and the rioters a block away to raid the mall and then go on a complete rampage throughout the area. And the only story...
Turn left on M Street Southeast, then turn left.
Does this actually solve the problem? I mean, we've got this problem of political violence now in our country, and I can't see how police reform is the answer. In fact, there's part of me that feels like Republicans are making a mistake, perhaps, by embracing police reform under threat, when there's been no condemnation from the Democrats of the idea that violence is an acceptable form of political protest. I see people running around saying Martin Luther King said a riot is the voice of the unheard. Well, they're misquoting him because he was saying that in the context of not endorsing riots, explaining them but not endorsing them. So what would you say for my right-wing critique that I did not feel protected by community police?
Yeah, it's a bit of a derivative of the Atlanta example, right? So you have an example in Atlanta, and then you have an example in Santa Monica. But I've talked to police departments, and they have internal policies that are very different.
Turn left on Penn Street Southeast.
What exactly happened? Who exactly did it? Were they native to Santa Monica, Venice, all around there where you live? Or were they from out of town? Were they organized?